your genius move is dying. You really are out of your mind.
I'm not the one who brought a pitchfork.
That's a good point. Hi everyone, welcome to Old Lady Reacts. I'm the Old Lady, otherwise known as Michelle. I'm a huge movie buff and this is my channel where I react to mostly action and superhero movies that I'm seeing for the first time, but also other stuff that looks interesting or new. I started the channel so I could understand the inside jokes and references in WandaVision, and here we are over a year later still reacting. So it's time for the next film in the DC Extended Universe. So let's do the Justice League from 2017. Now don't worry, I'm going to also do the 2021 Justice League when we get to it, but I think it's a good idea to see this one first so I have something to compare it to and I know that what's going on in the films in between. So Justice League has a 39 and 68% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. So definitely a split decision with the fans liking it a lot more than the critics. But that's pretty typical of like the not great superhero films. So I'm not surprised by that. Were certain aspects of the previous movies that I liked, and I thought they had like nuggets of greatness that could work. But yeah, overall I don't know that I've been thrilled by any of them yet. But I am excited to see more of Ben Affleck's Batman because I feel like he's been pretty underutilized at this point. He didn't get his own movie and it just feels like he should have gotten an origin story, but yeah, I guess we'll see. But there are so many other parts too of like the Suicide Squad one that I liked. But in that one, like there wasn't enough Harley Quinn and the Joker, and they don't even show up in this movie. Like anyway, I don't know. The DC movies are just so spotty that I never know what to expect, and I don't want to get my hopes up because it's so touch and go. So I probably should just go with it, and then we'll just see what's in store here. I feel like I should address the problematic nature of some of the people involved in this movie. I am aware of Joss Whedon's history and how he treated Gal Gadot on this film in particular, as well as, what's going on with Exra Miller, and who seems like, just like an all-around kind of messed up person. Those things do make me hesitate to see a movie. So I go into some of these movies with some trepidation, but I want to appreciate the movie's place in the overall story arc. So, I get torn about supporting movies and studios who continue to hire problematic people when it would be just as easy to hire someone who wasn't a jerk. So yeah, but especially if it's especially troublesome to me if the movie isn't great. So that I struggle with that. But then they also hire like non-problematic, perfectly good people who do deserve for their work to be seen. So I find it very confusing. I don't know that I have anything definitive to say about it other than that I am aware of the contradiction and like the difficulty in deciding, for me at least, whether to watch these movies or not. So let's just go with it. But before we get started, please subscribe so you can see all of my reactions and check out my Patreon if you're interested in participating in polls, having early access to videos, and watching full-length reactions. Hop over there and become a patron to support my channel. All right, let's dive into 2017's Justice League. So there's going to be lots of new characters in this one, I guess. Like that's exciting because I haven't seen anything with Aquaman. When it's funny because I'm watching The Boys and there's a character of like the Deep, and I don't know what that's a reference to. So glad to figure it out by this time.
It's meant to wind like a river. It comes and goes.
Okay.
A man I knew used to say that hope is like your car keys. Easy to lose, but if you dig around, it's usually close by.
What's the best thing about planet Earth?
The people? Oh, we don't want to get. Oh, I want to know what his answer was. So yeah, previous movie he was buried, but we saw the dirt on the top of the casket just move a little bit. So I never thought he was dead, even back then. So I'm sure he's not. Silly people who try to shoot at the superheroes. The bullets never work. Some of that was very CGI. I wish they had worked a little bit more on that. Oh, who is that? What is that? It's like a evil flying monkey? Is that where they got that? Or but it's like a cross between a flying monkey and a mosquito? Oh, there you go. That's handy. I like the wings. The wings are very cool. Is it just like spontaneously combusting? That's weird.
Where does that leave us?
Can he still... Okay, so if you've watched my previous Batman reactions, you know that I have a thing about the Batman cowl and him not being able to turn his head. Oh, this song? Really? We're going to use this song? I'm not sure how I feel about that. But yeah, it has always bugged me that Batman would design himself a suit where he didn't have full head range of movement in the neck. So, yeah. Karen Hines. Nice. He's in one of my favorite Jane Austen movies. And she's in one of my favorite movies of all time, Lonesome Dove, in her much younger years. Is that their farm? Did they sell their farm? Oh, foreclosure. Oh, that is unfortunate. Did they return to their planet and it was him and Prince and David Bowie? Oh my. Puppy. Hi, puppy. Jesus, this is depressing. Oh, he's just like, what the heck?
You're too late. The countdown's already begun.
Uh-oh. If they were sitting on the floor, how did they see what was in the briefcase? I like that. That's annoying. She's blocking all of them? Oh dear, that's asking a lot. Buddy, now you've really pissed me off. That looks like Ben Affleck.
Look, I'll give you $25,000 to talk to this man right now, outside.
No could visum allowed to me, of the person. I want to be left alone.
That way you help these people out here in the middle of nowhere, because you can just leave.
Yeah.
You ever hear of Superman? He died fighting next to me.
My point exactly.
That is a good, that's a good observation.
You're out of your mind, Bruce Wayne.
That was kind of a weird introduction to an important character. It's like they just cut right to him, like in the middle of a conversation. Like, it's kind of disappointing. I feel like they could have built that up a little bit more and made it more fun.
Perhaps I should fly to Paris with a handwritten note. Will you be Bruce's teammate? Check yes or no.
Smartass.
Football scholarship to GCU and deceased.
Deceased.
Well, this is the
Interesting.
days when one's biggest concerns were exploding wind-up penguins.
Exploding wind-up penguins. I know what that's a reference to. And that exploding wind-up penguin was pretty cool. I'll be putting down our exploding wind-up penguins because they were fantastic.
Hurry it up, will you? What, you got a problem?
No, there's no problem.
Better not be.
That was funny. I will say a lot. I'm liking the way the movie is shot so far. It's like visually it's interesting and it's pretty and there's a lot to look at. I can just compare this to the Batman, the recent one that was so kind of dark and just ugly,
Couldn't do that last night.
Do they mop those kinds of floors? I feel like they don't just mop those kinds of floors with like a regular wet squishy mop. Okay, there's a lot of stuff happening and it feels very kind of segmented. The hell? Like, who is this guy? like what? There's been no prior setup of this like massive villain. I mean, clearly he's supposed to be like Thanos, but Thanos was set up. Okay, you're gonna hear a lot of me like comparing the DC to Marvel, and I could just get over it. I'm a Marvel fan. If you don't, too bad, I guess. Like, but Thanos had like 6 movies of build-up before it, Infinity War and Endgame. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know that this means anything to me. Who dresses like that when they're like working with?
The mother boxes combine to form the Unity, an apocalyptic power that not only destroys worlds.
So that's like the Infinity Stones?
The box of man was buried in secret, so that no tribe would be tempted to use its power over another.
Okay, but not so much a secret if like 10 people knew where it was. Nice.
Barry Allen. Bruce Wayne.
That was a very weird edit. Like, we saw all of the stuff turn on at the same time we saw Bruce. Like, it should have been like a moment to be like, oh, look where he lives. That's cool. And him being comfortable in his space. And then, oh, all of a sudden somebody's there. Like,
somebody who, I don't know, stole your pocket watch or railroads.
Stole your pocket watch or railroads. That's funny.
Abrasion resistant? Heat resistant?
Yeah, I do competitive ice dancing.
That's what they use on the spaceship.
Competitive ice dancing.
I don't know. People are a little slow.
Literally and figuratively, I guess. Can I keep this?
It's like this. What are your superpowers again?
I'm rich.
See, there's moments of greatness here, but it doesn't feel cohesive. Like it's lacking, I don't know, something.
If I was going to attack you, I would have done it by the lake.
I like her little earrings.
Looks like you have a date, Miss Prince. About time somebody here did.
Why is he always trying to get Bruce laid? Let the poor man be single, for God's sake. Hi there. Head on over to my Patreon to get access to exclusive content like Firefly, polls, and a growing collection of full-length reactions. And now, back to the movie. See, now that's an introduction right there.
It's on him.
See, if Bruce had been like in the bar and saw him come in, like and do that, like there's just a disconnect on a lot of things. Like it's a good way to introduce the character, and it's like they've this underwhelming introductions.
Then I'm gonna need something from you.
Are his eyes really that light naturally, or does he have like colored contacts in?
You must be Barry. I'm Diana.
Hi, Barry. I'm Diana. That's not right. Awesome. That's a bad signal. That's your... Oh, sorry. That's your signal. That means we have to go now.
Yeah, that's what that means.
It's a shame he's such a bad guy because he's actually pretty charming on screen. He's kind of funny. Like, he could have, Oh, dear.
The head of Star Labs was taken as well.
So he's basically RoboCop. Ah, get the sword. Ooh, that's neat.
What are we under right now?
Oh, aren't they underwater? Oopsie.
At some point, even you have to learn to move on.
Steve Trevor tell you that?
You want to say something else? We can go. We can go with that again.
Right. But we mean bring him back in like a yay, he's back way, not in like a Pet Cemetery scenario.
Important distinction. Yes. Nice Stephen King reference.
Despite all that power, the world needs Superman.
Why does it look like he has like a bit of a belly? Like he's Batman. Doesn't he have a six-pack? Like it's a very odd cut.
Do you feel a sense of confidence that we're not doing something horribly wrong and macabre here?
Not really.
So what are the purposes of those lights on his thing, and the light in like the having actual like external shining light out of him?
I'm here for him.
I swear I would never.
I find it very odd that the mask is under the nose as well. Like that must be very uncomfortable. I don't think someone would design themselves a mask like that. See, all perfectly preserved. Oh, save that for him. Come on. They couldn't like move out of the way for him. Wait, like catapulted him out of... What? Well, it's convenient that he lands there. It's so odd.
He's confused. He doesn't know who he is.
Pet Cemetery.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, he sees. See, I think I'd be more impressed by the slow-mo stuff if we hadn't already seen it in the X-Men movies with, what's his name? You know who I'm talking about.
Do you bleed?
Clark?
Yeah, I think he does. Yeah, we know it's Lois.
Yeah. Oh, something is definitely bleeding.
That's a weird line. Like, oh, it's not funny enough. Throw in a comical quip here and there. It's like,
You smell good.
Does he? He hasn't had a shower in quite a while.
Just keep the little merman away from me while I work.
So now the way his neck works is kind of cool. It's like articulated armor that works with its other pieces of it.
Let me.
It's just a little out of place.
Oh, did he like dislocate his shoulder? Ouch.
Remember what you told me about Hart in the hangar? I bet you thought I wasn't listening.
Is that supposed to be like the scene in Outlander when she sets Jamie's shoulder?
Dress up like a bat. I won't even sue.
If we get through the night.
It's funny is you get exposition, and maybe one line of character-driven personality, connector, relationship stuff, and it should be the opposite. Because I guess, yeah, still, like you don't really feel anything about what's happening. Like, it's fine, it's interesting, but there's no emotional involvement whatsoever for me, anyway. Do people with cornfields, like, stand in the middle of them all the time, having these kinds of conversations? Somehow I don't think so. Poor Alfred, left behind all the time. It looks like a whale.
But you guys should think about getting clear.
We're with you till it's done.
Honestly, I think we're all gonna be dead way before that.
He's such a pessimist.
Maybe I'm scared because I'm meant to.
Okay, that was kind of funny.
Come on, follow me, you damn insects.
I do like his little glasses thing, so it makes sense.
So your genius move is dying. You really are out of your mind.
I'm not the one who brought a pitchfork.
That's a good point.
These things are gonna keep coming.
Okay, you get technical. I'm on bug duty.
Let's do it.
I'm on bug duty. It is nice he adds a little bit of levity to the occasion. I mean, of all of them, I feel like he's the one with the most quickly established personality. What is the point of this, like, family? Oh, we have to have normal people to save or something.
Power is the only law.
Oh, it just tore his poor leg off. Okay.
I believe in truth. But I'm also a big fan of justice.
Oh, that was corny. It's just so random. Like, who are these people and why do I care about them? Because they're cute? Like, it just makes no sense whatsoever.
Dostoevsky.
I think he meant Dos Vidania.
Man, my toes hurt. I don't even understand the physics of how my toes hurt.
What's going on outside?
Oh, this guy's still alive? Oh, for God's sake.
This world is my right.
Says who? Why is he sitting like that?
How did you get the house back from the bank?
I bought the bank.
That works.
The whole bank.
It's like a reflex with me, I don't know.
It's like a reflex.
Big round table. 6 chairs. Right there.
But room for more.
Okay, King Arthur is Knights of the Round Table. All right.
Be alone again. Our darkness was deep.
It's like DC thinks that just like showing us some kids somehow like makes us wanna get emotionally involved. And like they're just random actors. We know they're not kids. Like you can't just pull at our heartstrings by showing us some random kids. They need a character. They need connection.
To put it plainly, shouldn't we
Is
have
that
a league of our own?
the Joe Manganiello? Yeah, I don't know what to think about these DC movies anymore. Like they just don't resonate with me at all. They're not storyline driven, they're not character driven, they're not relationship driven. Like they just don't generate any emotion in me at all except disappointment. Like I so want to love them. I've watched so many movies on this channel that I've just loved and it's been so wonderful and such lovely surprise movies, you know, that I never would have enjoyed, but because I started this channel, or never would have watched, but because I started this channel, like I got exposed to them. But you know, movies like this, I just start watching them by the halfway point. I'm like, is it almost over? Are we done yet? And I know people hate when I compare DC to Marvel, but there's such a marked difference in the quality of the stories, the depth of the stories, the complication of the stories, and like how long they take to build them. It just, even the worst of the MCU movies are better than a majority of the DC movies. And these are just so surface level with things like, you know, throw in some kids because they think it's going to evoke something in us. With the whole, oh my God, it's a family, like it's shorthand. It's rather than actually building a storyline or a character up to actually mean something. Like compare them to the family in Logan. They basically, both families serve the same purpose in the story. But Logan actually did the work to make them into real people with real lives, and their loss like actually means something to the main characters. And to drive the story forward. I'm just so tired of the whole like truth and justice and right and wrong and black and white narrative. It's just, we've seen it. It's the same message every single one of these movies. I'm starting to get bitter about the lack of depth and gray areas that make other movies so interesting. These superheroes are not really characters, they're not really people, they're just archetypes. And they're not very well developed ones. They feel very kind of like written by committee so as not to offend anyone. And like the little wisecracks and tiny little snippets of humor, they come so out of nowhere that it's hard to enjoy them because they don't vibe with the feel of the rest of the film. They feel manipulative rather than just a natural moment for you to enjoy. They make me ask, this movie makes me ask once again, do these filmmakers even like these characters? Do they care at all? And I also was like, do they even like making movies? Or is it just their job? Because like I feel like this movie is not a movie that's made with love. Not for the characters, not for the stories, not for the audience, nothing. Like this movie is made for money and it's made to get you in a theater, and they don't really care about how you feel when you walk out because they got your ticket price already when you walked in. So I could go on and on about how lame it was, but I'm bored just talking about it. So I'm just going to move on to the next movie. And I have episodes of The Boys waiting for me, which is like 10 times more interesting than this movie. So if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe, all the things. Check out my Patreon for exclusive content and click here to watch another of my reactions next. You guys are awesome. I love sharing movies with you, good and in this case bad. Thanks for watching with me.